Hey gamers, what's up? It's me, Jake. And today I'm going to talk about my E3 predictions for this year, because E3 is about as predictable as you'd expect. So, I haven't even been following gaming news, and I can predict what E3 is going to fucking be, and I'm going to be spot on, because that's what I am. I mean, that's what it's like being a gamer like me. I know all the cheat codes, and I know all the predictions. So without further ado, let's talk about this. So, being a gamer like me who's watched so many E3 presentations, I can tell you exactly that almost all the games, aside from a few standouts, are going to be in a few different categories. They're going to be sequels to games and series, so basically shit you already own, but usually with a slight upgrade or update or whatever, and in some cases there'll be a straight up asset flip. You'll be seeing remasters, in other words shit you already own, but this time it'll have better graphics. And please buy it again. Please don't, you know, turn on your Xbox 360 and play it. Oh no, we don't want you to do that. We don't want you to do that. Please buy it yet again. There's going to be, what is there? Shit you already own, but it's a sequel, but it looks like shit. And people make fun of it, like, say, Black Ops 4 or Battlefield 5. It's straight up a set flip, it looks like shit, nobody wants it. And of course, if you criticize it, you're an alt-right Gamergate bigot, so, please buy this game to support these oppressed developers. Please buy this game. Hashtag Mass Effect Andromeda. Please buy this game so it doesn't end up in Goodwill or the dumpster. And then there will be a new game. It'll be some all new intellectual property. And it might be good. There's like a 1 in 32, 1 in 64, some odd like that chance it'll be good, but the grand majority of times it's gonna look like shit. You're gonna look at this and you're gonna be like, why do I care? I'm falling asleep. Need to stay awake a few more hours to watch this. It'll be like that Sony E3 conference last year, or whatever, when they were showing that Final Fantasy fishing game. You remember that? Remember when the whole crowd wasn't even clapping? That's what you're gonna see, shit like that, or you'll see people clapping to pretend they're excited. Like when your parents get you some gift you fucking hate for like Christmas or some shit, and you really don't like it, but you know, you have to say, thanks mom, because if you don't, you know, she'll be pissed off at you. She'll be pissed off at you. So here's what the E3s are going to be like. EA is going to have a bunch of shitty games that they've added enough token characters in, so when anybody criticizes them, they'll get attacked by Polygon or Kotaku for being bigots because they shat on this corporate sterilized garbage that nobody wants, that's not fun at all, and that's just crap. And that probably has a bunch of bugs in it too. And they're also going to announce sports games that are just going to be the same shit every year. So let's talk about what Bethesda's E3 is. Oh, it's also going to be buying the same shit. It's going to be buying shit you already own, or shit you already own with a new name on it. Yeah, Ubisoft. Who gives a fuck about Ubisoft? So, let's talk about, the big three now. Sony's, you know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a bunch of shitty-ass indie games. Maybe a few new intellectual properties or two. Maybe some shit from, like, David Cage, where you can, where he wants you to put the controller down and watch the game, and maybe press a button here or there. Like you're fucking playing Dragon's Lair or Night Trap. Actually, no, those probably have more gameplay than a David Cage game does. There's gonna be some Asian games probably, but you won't see a focus on that as much as you will see some shitty intellectual property that Sony wants to sell that's cinematic. You're probably not going to see backwards compatibility because Sony doesn't give a fuck about that, but you'll see them wanting you to rebuy shit you already own with an HD remaster. And of course they don't give a fuck about the Vita anyhow. They fucking abandoned that thing like some adopted baby. So, Microsoft, you know, they might finally announce that they're gonna fix the Master Shit Collection after, what, 4 years now? It's been 4 years, and they have about as much trust from the Halo fan base as a teacher does a kid who keeps telling his class, I'm gonna turn this in, I promise. I'm gonna get my homework on time. And he's chronically late, he's always getting into trouble. The teacher's like, sure, I'll believe it when I see it. Because that's what the Halo series is like right now. It's been 4 years, it's still broken as shit. That's the Master Chief Collection for you. It's still, there's still a few false promises they haven't met with it, but, you know, it's been 4 years, and that's been long enough for everybody who is interested to pawn off their Xbox One for more weed money. You're also probably going to see more backwards compatible games. You're going to see maybe some remasters. You're going to see them milking the shit out of Forza and probably Halo and some of their other franchises. But you know, they might eventually announce Halo 3 on PC, but that's like Duke Nukem Forever. It's like people want it, but it's like been rumored, but it's probably not going to happen at this point. And if they did, they'd fuck it up in some way, if it did. Because that's what happened with Halo 2 on the PC. So what else is Microsoft going to do? Oh yeah, how can I forget there's probably going to be some other third-party games you don't give a shit about, and some indie games you don't give a shit about, because they all look like shit anyhow. And, I mean, Sony's the master of that, but there were a few at Microsoft. And then, the biggest one is going to be Nintendo's. And I say biggest one because, you know the Nintendo's fan base of drooling neckbeards and fat, overweight Tumblr chicks or chicks are going to be, they're going to buy that shit up like crazy. They're going to buy anything Nintendo. Nintendo could do no wrong. They could be, what could Nintendo do? They could push a system update that bricked your Switch and people would still defend them. They'd come up with a long-winded explanation about how Nintendo has every right to brick your Switch. That's what Nintendo fans will fucking do. They get shit on all the time by Nintendo. They still come back for more. And you know what they're going to announce, probably? A few more sequels or rehashes, I mean, of games you already own. So buy shit you already own yet again. Oh, and you're now going to pay for online on the Switch. And what else is going to come to the Switch? I don't know. But it's probably going to be like there's a flash. There'll be like a flash in the pan thing where like Nintendo's games and systems will sell for like a month or two. And then the sales dip again as unsold Switches pile up because the system has no fucking games on it still. I mean, they sold lots of consoles based on hype alone. But while the PS4 and Xbox One followed up with games, the Switch still has yet to. It still has yet to. Here's the deal. E3 is just going to be a bunch of rehash shit, maybe one or two standouts. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to buy it anyway. Because that's what game companies are good at doing. They'll take your money and they'll funnel it towards shit you don't want being made. And they'll have all your money once you go and you buy, like, all these games up anyhow, before you go online to talk about how much you wasted your money on them. I mean, look at Call of Duty, good example of that shit. Every single year people do it. Or Sonic the Hedgehog, another good example of that. Because that's what I bet's gonna happen. People, they're gonna release shitty games, they're gonna announce shitty games, and people will buy them anyway. Anyhow, thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and there's your E3 predictions from me, a gamer.